Most people see just a copper penny, but collectors are desperate to pay over $1.2 million for a specific 1981 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that exists only because of a mysterious minting error that was never supposed to happen. This isn't just pocket change. This is a ghost from the mint, a piece of history that has been quietly circulating for decades, waiting for one lucky person to notice the secret doubling on the letters, the rare metallic strike, or the subtle misalignment that transforms a simple penny into a life-changing treasure. Imagine finding $1 million while cleaning out your car, digging through a dusty jar of coins, or even shaking out a couch cushion. This is the ultimate real-life treasure hunt, the kind that could pay off a mortgage, fund a dream vacation, or change your life in a single day. The story of this penny begins not in your pocket, but deep inside the United States Mint. Every year, billions of coins are struck with precision and care, but sometimes the machines misfire. A tiny flaw, almost invisible to the untrained eye, can create a coin that becomes the obsession of collectors for decades. The 1981 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those errors. It looks ordinary at first glance, indistinguishable from the thousands of other pennies in circulation. But when examined under the right light, the subtle differences leap out. The letters may appear slightly doubled. The surface may shimmer in a way that ordinary copper does not. The strike may be off-center, a hint that this coin was never supposed to exist in this form. And that tiny mint mark, or the absence of one, tells an even bigger story, a secret kept hidden for decades. Collectors describe these coins as the ultimate mix of luck, timing, and observation. The moment you recognize the error, you are holding in your hands a coin that could be worth over $1 million. There have been countless reports of these pennies changing hands for astonishing sums, and every time one surfaces, the stories are almost unbelievable. A simple jar of coins at a flea market, a forgotten collection in a relative's attic, even a handful of coins poured from a machine at the grocery store has revealed a treasure that turns ordinary people into instant millionaires. The thrill isn't just the money. It's the story, the history, and the sheer rarity of holding something that was never supposed to survive. Now, you might be wondering how to tell the difference between a standard 1981 penny and this extraordinary no-mint mark version. The first thing to understand is the mint mark itself. Normally, pennies will bear a small letter beneath the year, indicating whether they were produced in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The 1981 no-mint mark penny, however, was struck without that identifying letter, creating a subtle irregularity that experienced collectors immediately recognize. But the mint mark alone is not the full story. You need to examine the coin's surface, the sharpness of the details, and the alignment of the lettering. Look closely at Lincoln's bust, the fine lines around the shoulder, and the words, "In God We Trust." Any irregularity, any doubling, or any off-center impression could indicate that you are holding something extraordinary. And remember, these coins are incredibly rare. While millions of pennies were produced in 1981, only a tiny fraction contain the anomalies that make them worth a fortune. The excitement around this penny isn't new. Stories of people discovering rare coins in the most ordinary places have been circulating among collectors for decades. One collector reported finding a similar coin tucked inside a drawer filled with loose change, completely unnoticed for years. Another story tells of a man who discovered a mint error while sorting coins at a local bank. He didn't realize the significance at first, but once verified by experts, that single penny was confirmed to be worth over $1 million. These are not exaggerations or urban legends. These are documented cases of coins that transformed lives overnight. And now, the next one could be in your hands. What makes this coin so valuable is a combination of rarity, condition, and history. Coins like this are not just monetary assets. They are tangible pieces of history. They tell the story of the minting process, the human and mechanical errors that occasionally slip through, and the decades-long journey of a coin moving from pocket to pocket, jar to jar, unnoticed by the general public. Collectors prize these pennies not only for their potential financial value, but for the thrill of the hunt and the satisfaction of owning a piece of something extraordinary. The 1981 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny represents a rare intersection of chance and history, a tangible reminder that sometimes the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight. Even if you are not a collector, There is something undeniably exciting about the thought of holding $1 million coin in your hand. It sparks the imagination and creates a sense of anticipation that is hard to match. Imagine the excitement of discovering a coin tucked away in a bag of change, examining it under the light, and slowly realizing that what you are holding is worth more than most people make in a lifetime. The possibility exists right now. That next rare penny could be hiding in your house, your car, or even your pocket as you watch this video. To truly appreciate the value of this coin, you need to understand the broader world of coin collecting. Experts in the field spend years studying minting errors, grading coins, and identifying anomalies. They understand the difference between a minor imperfection and a potentially life-changing error. When a coin like the 1981 no mint Mark Lincoln penny surfaces, it immediately grabs attention, not only because of its rarity, but also because of the story it tells. The minting error is a signature of a moment in time, a mistake that turned a common object into a coveted treasure. And unlike other investments, coins like this are tangible. You can hold them, examine them, and marvel at the detail that sets them apart from ordinary pennies. The process of verifying a coin's authenticity is also critical. Experts examine the metal composition, the strike quality, and the minute details that indicate whether a coin is genuine. This process has led to documented sales reaching incredible sums, with some coins surpassing $1 million in market value. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these rare finds because they know that each coin is unique, irreplaceable, and carries a history that cannot be duplicated. And the allure is not just financial. It is about being part of a select group of people who understand the subtle intricacies of the mint and the rarity of errors. Holding one of these coins is like holding a secret that only a few people in the world truly. Start by examining the coins you already have. Sort through jars of change, check the coins in your car, and don't overlook the loose change that might be hiding in drawers, purses, or old piggy banks. Look for any coin that appears slightly different from the rest. Pay attention to the date, the presence or absence of a mint mark, and the fine details around the letters and images. Even a small irregularity could be the clue that leads you to a life-changing discovery. Remember, these coins are rare, but they are out there. Every year, new examples come to light, often in the most ordinary places. The thrill of the hunt is only part of the story. There is also the anticipation, the possibility, and the dream that drives collectors and casual enthusiasts alike. Everyone imagines the moment of discovery, the rush of excitement, and the validation that comes with holding a coin worth over $1 million. It is a moment that changes perspectives, creates stories to tell for a lifetime, and sometimes even reshapes the future. That is the power of the 1981 no mint Mark Lincoln penny. It is not just a coin. It is a symbol of luck, diligence, and the magic that happens when history, error, and fortune intersect. As you continue your search, remember that patience and attention to detail are key. Many collectors spend years studying coins, learning to spot subtle errors that others miss. Each coin tells a story, and each anomaly is a potential treasure waiting to be discovered. The 1981 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of the most coveted examples of this phenomenon, a coin that combines rarity, historical significance, and the thrill of the hunt into a single, extraordinary object. And while millions of ordinary pennies exist, only a select few contain the errors that make them worth millions. Most people see just a copper penny, but collectors are desperate to pay over $1.2 million for a specific 1981 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that exists only because of a mysterious minting error that was never supposed to happen. This isn't just pocket change. This is a ghost from the mint, a piece of history that has been quietly circulating for decades, waiting for one lucky person to notice the secret doubling on the letters, the rare metallic strike, or the subtle misalignment that transforms a simple penny into a life-changing treasure. Imagine finding $1 million while cleaning out your car, digging through a dusty jar of coins, or even shaking out a couch cushion. This is the ultimate real-life treasure hunt, the kind that could pay off a mortgage, fund a dream vacation, or change your life in a single day. The story of this penny begins not in your pocket, but deep inside the United States Mint. Every year, billions of coins are struck with precision and care, but sometimes the machines misfire. A tiny flaw, almost invisible to the untrained eye, can create a coin that becomes the obsession of collectors for decades. The 1981 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those errors. It looks ordinary at first glance, indistinguishable from the thousands of other pennies in circulation. But when examined under the right light, the subtle differences leap out. The letters may appear slightly doubled. The surface may shimmer in a way that ordinary copper does not. The strike may be off-center, a hint that this coin was never supposed to exist in this form. And that tiny mint mark, or the absence of one, tells an even bigger story, a secret kept hidden for decades. Collectors describe these coins as the ultimate mix of luck, timing, and observation. The moment you recognize the error, you are holding in your hands a coin that could be worth over $1 million. There have been countless reports of these pennies changing hands for astonishing sums, and every time one surfaces, the stories are almost unbelievable. A simple jar of coins at a flea market, a forgotten collection in a relative's attic, even a handful of coins poured from a machine at the grocery store has revealed a treasure that turns ordinary people into instant millionaires. The thrill isn't just the money. It's the story, the history, and the sheer rarity of holding something that was never supposed to survive. Now, you might be wondering how to tell the difference between a standard 1981 penny and this extraordinary no-mint mark version. The first thing to understand is the mint mark itself. Normally, pennies will bear a small letter beneath the year, indicating whether they were produced in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The 1981 no-mint mark penny, however, was struck without that identifying letter, creating a subtle irregularity that experienced collectors immediately recognize. But the mint mark alone is not the full story. You need to examine the coin's surface, the sharpness of the details, and the alignment of the lettering. Look closely at Lincoln's bust, the fine lines around the shoulder, and the words, "In God We Trust." Any irregularity, any doubling, or any off-center impression could indicate that you are holding something extraordinary. And remember, these coins are incredibly rare. While millions of pennies were produced in 1981, only a tiny fraction contain the anomalies that make them worth a fortune. The excitement around this penny isn't new. Stories of people discovering rare coins in the most ordinary places have been circulating among collectors for decades. One collector reported finding a similar coin tucked inside a drawer filled with loose change, completely unnoticed for years. Another story tells of a man who discovered a mint error while sorting coins at a local bank. He didn't realize the significance at first, but once verified by experts, that single penny was confirmed to be worth over $1 million. These are not exaggerations or urban legends. These are documented cases of coins that transformed lives overnight. And now, the next one could be in your hands. What makes this coin so valuable is a combination of rarity, condition, and history. Coins like this are not just monetary assets. They are tangible pieces of history. They tell the story of the minting process, the human and mechanical errors that occasionally slip through, and the decades-long journey of a coin moving from pocket to pocket, jar to jar, unnoticed by the general public. Collectors prize these pennies not only for their potential financial value, but for the thrill of the hunt and the satisfaction of owning a piece of something extraordinary. The 1981 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny represents a rare intersection of chance and history, a tangible reminder that sometimes the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight. Even if you are not a collector, there is something undeniably exciting about the thought of holding $1 million coin in your hand. It sparks the imagination and creates a sense of anticipation that is hard to match. Imagine the excitement of discovering a coin tucked away in a bag of change, examining it under the light, and slowly realizing that what you are holding is worth more than most people make in a lifetime. The possibility exists right now. That next rare penny could be hiding in your house, your car, or even your pocket as you watch this video. To truly appreciate the value of this coin, you need to understand the broader world of coin collecting. Experts in the field spend years studying minting errors, grading coins, and identifying anomalies. They understand the difference between a minor imperfection and a potentially life-changing error. When a coin like the 1981 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny surfaces, it immediately grabs attention, not only because of its rarity, but also because of the story it tells. The minting error is a signature of a moment in time, a mistake that turned a common object into a coveted treasure. And unlike other investments, coins like this are tangible. You can hold them, examine them, and marvel at the detail that sets them apart from ordinary pennies. The process of verifying a coin's authenticity is also critical. Experts examine the metal composition, the strike quality, and the minute details that indicate whether a coin is genuine. This process has led to documented sales reaching incredible sums, with some coins surpassing $1 million in market value. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these rare finds because they know that each coin is unique, irreplaceable, and carries a history that cannot be duplicated. And the allure is not just financial. It is about being part of a select group of people who understand the subtle intricacies of the mint and the rarity of errors. Holding one of these coins is like holding a secret that only a few people in the world truly. Start by examining the coins you already have. Sort through jars of change, check the coins in your car, and don't overlook the loose change that might be hiding in drawers, purses, or old piggy banks. Look for any coin that appears slightly different from the rest. Pay attention to the date, the presence or absence of a mint mark, and the fine details around the letters and images. Even a small irregularity could be the clue that leads you to a life-changing discovery. Remember, these coins are rare, but they are out there. Every year, new examples come to light, often in the most ordinary places. The thrill of the hunt is only part of the story. There is also the anticipation, the possibility, and the dream that drives collectors and casual enthusiasts alike. Everyone imagines the moment of discovery, the rush of excitement, and the validation that comes with holding a coin worth over $1 million. It is a moment that changes perspectives, creates stories to tell for a lifetime, and sometimes even reshapes the future. That is the power of the 1981 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. It is not just a coin. It is a symbol of luck, diligence, and the magic that happens when history, error, and fortune intersect. As you continue your search, remember that patience and attention to detail are key. Many collectors spend years studying coins, learning to spot subtle errors that others miss. Each coin tells a story, and each anomaly is a potential treasure waiting to be discovered. The 1981 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of the most coveted examples of this phenomenon, a coin that combines rarity, historical significance, and the thrill of the hunt into a single, extraordinary object. And while millions of ordinary pennies exist, only a select few contain the errors that make them worth millions. Collectors across the country have been hunting for this penny for decades. They are desperate to pay over $1,400,000 for a very specific 2013 mint Mark Lincoln penny. Why? Because this coin carries a mysterious minting error that was never supposed to exist, a ghost from the mint that slipped through the cracks of perfection. Most people glance at a penny, see only copper, the familiar image of Lincoln staring back, and toss it aside. But this coin is different. It's the kind of rare anomaly that transforms ordinary pocket change into unimaginable wealth. Imagine this. You're going about your day, cleaning out an old jar of coins you've been meaning to sort through, or shaking loose the change from your car cup holder. Your hand dips in, fingers brushing against familiar coins, when suddenly, something catches your eye. There's a subtle glint that wasn't there before. A letter on the coin appears doubled, slightly off-center, or the metallic strike looks unusual, almost as if the coin has a secret of its own. In that instant, you realize what you're holding. You've just stumbled upon one of the most sought-after coins in the world, a coin that could pay off your mortgage, set you up for life, and make headlines. What makes this coin so special is the error, subtle yet profound. It's not something visible from across the room. You need to get close, examine the mint mark right below the date, and study the letters carefully. In some cases, the details may appear slightly doubled, or the copper itself might show a variation in its metallic composition that was never meant to leave the mint. These mistakes are what make the coin not just valuable, but legendary. Mistakes like these, in the numismatic world, are like rare jewels hiding in plain sight. They are anomalies that collectors dream about and are willing to pay millions to acquire. But the story doesn't end there. This coin carries a mysterious history that adds to its allure. The 2013 Lincoln penny was part of a mass production run intended for everyday transactions, yet a few coins escaped the process in an unusual condition. The exact nature of the minting error was never fully documented, making these pennies incredibly rare and enigmatic. Some coins show what collectors call a double die effect, where the impression of the letters or numbers appears slightly layered, a whisper of the machinery that struck it. Others might have a striking off-center that subtly alters the look of Lincoln's profile or the year itself. Each variation tells a story that could be worth more than $1 million if discovered in pristine condition. Now, you might be thinking that this sounds too good to be true. That $1 million coin in your pocket seems like a fairy tale, something that happens only in stories or on late-night television shows. But history has shown that these coins exist. Collectors have documented sales where pennies with similar anomalies have fetched staggering sums. Coins that were once ordinary cents, tossed aside or overlooked, have transformed lives in a single transaction. And while not every coin carries this rare value, the chance exists for the 1 in 1,000, 1 in 10,000, that has the exact combination of minting quirks that make it a legend. The thrill is not just in the value, but in the hunt itself. Searching through coins becomes an adventure. Each coin you hold could be hiding a secret, a detail that the casual eye misses. Look closely at the mint mark below the date. Examine Lincoln's profile, the lettering, and the shine of the copper. Is something slightly doubled? Does the metallic strike appear unusual? Is the alignment off in a way that shouldn't happen? These are the signs collectors look for, the very details that transform an ordinary penny into a life-changing discovery. Collectors will tell you that it's almost like a real-life treasure hunt. Every day, pennies move from pocket to pocket, jar to jar, and one lucky finder could stumble upon this legendary coin at any moment. It could be sitting in your desk drawer, hidden between ordinary coins, waiting for someone to notice. And when that moment comes, it's unforgettable. Imagine the exhilaration of realizing that the coin in your hand is worth more than most people will earn in a lifetime. The excitement, the disbelief, and the immediate sense of possibility. It's a sensation that only a few will ever experience. Owning this coin isn't just about wealth. It's about being part of a small circle of collectors who have discovered a secret that has eluded the masses. It's about holding a piece of history that was never meant to exist, a minting anomaly that carries both a story and an extraordinary value. The 2013 D. Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a reminder that treasure can be hiding in the most ordinary places, waiting for the observant, the patient, and the lucky. Coins like this don't stay hidden forever. Every year, collectors hunt, traders exchange, and the rarest coins find their way into the hands of someone who recognizes their worth. That means if you're sitting on the next legendary penny, the opportunity to cash in is now. This is not a waiting game. This is a moment where attention to detail could change your life. Each penny you examine is another chance to discover the impossible. So take a deep breath and check your coins right now. Empty that old jar, dig through that pile of change, and examine every single penny you come across. Pay special attention to the 2013 D Mint Mark pennies. Look for double details, slight off-center strikes, and anything that appears unusual or out of the ordinary. Remember, the tiniest anomaly can hold the key to a fortune. This is your real-life treasure map, hidden in plain sight, in the copper of your everyday change. The story of this penny is still unfolding. There are collectors who have been searching for decades, some who have come close, and others who have walked past without ever realizing what they had. But the next discovery could be today, right now, and it could belong to you. Imagine the news headline: a penny worth over $1 million found in a jar of coins in someone's home. That could be your story. That could be the moment where an ordinary day transforms into a life-changing event. Every detail matters. Even the slightest variation in the mint mark, the smallest doubling of letters, or a subtle metallic difference can be the difference between an ordinary coin and $1 million legend. This is why careful observation is everything. It's why collectors scrutinize coins with magnifying glasses, study photographs of previous finds, and remain vigilant every day. And it's why you should, too. The next legendary penny might already be in your hands, sitting quietly among the change you've ignored for years. The thrill, the possibility, and the immense value all come together in this single coin. The 2013 D. Lincoln penny is more than copper and metal. It is a story, a mystery, and a chance at unimaginable fortune. It's a coin that could make you rethink every penny you've ever dismissed. It's a reminder that the ordinary can hide the extraordinary, that the mundane can hold the miraculous, and that sometimes luck is simply about noticing what others have missed. So pause what you're doing. Reach into your pockets, empty that jar, and examine every coin with care. Study the mint mark, the letters, the alignment, and the metallic shine. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, and anything that seems unusual. Each coin is a potential treasure waiting to be discovered. And remember, this isn't just a dream. People have found coins worth millions before. People have transformed their lives with a single, careful observation. Today could be your day. The 2013 D Lincoln penny is out there, circulating quietly, hidden in everyday transactions, waiting for the lucky person who notices its secret. That could be you. This could be the moment where ordinary change turns into unimaginable wealth. This is your call to action. Look carefully, look closely, and never underestimate the power of a single coin. One moment, one observation, one lucky find. This is how legends are discovered, and one day, it could be your legend to tell. Somewhere out there, hidden among ordinary loose change, a single 1994 D Lincoln penny is believed to exist with a rare minting error so unusual that collectors have been willing to pay extraordinary amounts of money just to own it. To most people, it looks like nothing more than a simple copper coin. But to those who know what to look for, it could represent a once-in-a-lifetime discovery worth over $1.8 million. Now imagine this for a moment. You are cleaning out your car, maybe reaching under the seat, brushing past old receipts and forgotten wrappers, when your fingers touch a coin. You pull it out casually, expecting nothing. But what if that one coin, that single overlooked penny, holds a secret that the United States Mint never intended anyone to see? A secret that has been quietly circulating for decades, passing from hand to hand, waiting for someone observant enough to notice something is not quite right. This is not just a story about money. It is about possibility. It is about the idea that something extraordinary could be hiding in the most ordinary place. The 1994 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, part of a massive production run. Billions of pennies were struck that year, and nearly all of them are worth exactly 1 cent today. But within that ocean of identical coins, there is believed to be a rare variation, a mistake made during the minting process that created something completely different. And it all comes down to the details that at first glance. The coin looks normal. On the front, you see Abraham Lincoln, just as you would expect. The date reads 1994, and just below it sits the small but crucial D mint mark, indicating it was struck in Denver. But if you look closer, and I mean really look closely, you may begin to notice something unusual about the lettering. Some collectors believe that a rare double die error exists for this coin. That means during the minting process, the die used to stamp the coin may have shifted slightly, causing certain elements of the design to appear doubled. This doubling is not random damage. It is not wear and tear. It is a precise duplication of the design, slightly offset, almost like a shadow. The letters in Liberty might appear thicker or slightly duplicated. The numbers in the date might seem to have a faint echo. Even the words "In God We Trust" could show subtle signs of doubling if the coin is examined under proper lighting and magnification. And here is where things get even more interesting. Some reports suggest that a small number of these pennies may have been struck on the wrong type of metal planchet. Instead of the standard copper-plated zinc composition used in 1994, a rare few could have been struck on a different metallic base, making them heavier, more durable, and far more valuable. Think about that. A coin that was never supposed to exist. A combination of errors that slipped past quality control and entered circulation unnoticed. A ghost from the mint. Now picture this coin traveling through time that it might have been handed over at a gas station in the late 1990s. It might have sat in a cash register, passed through vending machines, or been dropped into a tip jar. It could have been part of someone's grocery change, spent without a second thought. And now, years later, it could be sitting quietly in a jar, buried in a drawer, or even resting in your pocket at this very moment. That is what makes this so powerful. This is not locked away in a museum. This is not owned by a billionaire collector. This is still out there, somewhere, waiting. And the truth is, most people would never notice it. They would glance at the coin, see a penny, and move on. But you are not most people. You are here, listening, learning, paying attention. And that gives you an advantage. Start with the date. Look for 1994. That is your first filter. Then check for the D-mint mark just below the date. If it is not there, it is not the one you are looking for. Next, examine the surface of the coin carefully. You want to look for any signs that the design is not perfectly aligned. Focus on the lettering. Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date itself are key areas. If you notice any doubling, even slight, that is a signal to investigate further. Lighting is important. Tilt the coin slowly under a bright light. Sometimes the doubling only becomes visible when the light hits it at a certain angle. A magnifying glass or a coin loupe can make a huge difference, revealing details that are invisible to the naked eye. Also pay attention to the overall strike of the coin. If something feels off, if the design looks slightly shifted or uneven, do not ignore that instinct. These small imperfections can be clues to something much bigger. And then there is the weight. If you have access to a precise scale, weigh the coin. A standard 1994 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. If your coin is significantly heavier or lighter, it could indicate it was struck on the wrong planchet. Now here is the part that most people underestimate. Finding the coin is only the beginning. That if you believe you have discovered something unusual, do not rush. Do not clean the coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce its value dramatically. Instead, place it in a protective holder and consider having it evaluated by a professional coin grading service. Experts can confirm whether the coin truly has a rare minting error and determine its condition, which plays a major role in its value. The better the condition, the higher the potential price. And yes, we are talking about life-changing money. Imagine holding a coin worth over $1 million. Imagine the moment when an expert looks at it, studies it carefully, and then tells you that what you have is genuine. That moment would not just be surprising. It would be unforgettable. Your life could change in an instant. That is the reality of coin collecting at this level. It is not just a hobby. It is a treasure hunt. And the best part is, anyone can play. You do not need special equipment to get started. You do not need years of experience. All you need is curiosity and the willingness to look a little closer than everyone else. Because while others are ignoring their spare change, you could be uncovering hidden value. Think about how many pennies you have handled in your life. Hundreds, thousands, maybe more. Probably none. That is what makes this opportunity so incredible. The coin could have passed through your hands already. Or it could be waiting for you to find it tomorrow. Every time you receive change, every time you come across a jar of coins, you have another chance. And somewhere out there, that rare 1994 D Lincoln penny is still in circulation. It has not been discovered yet. Or if it has, there could be more. That is the mystery. That is the excitement. And that is why collectors are willing to pay such staggering amounts of money. Because they know what is possible. They know that sometimes, the smallest objects can hold the greatest value. Most people never give a second thought to pennies. They toss them into jars, leave them in their cars, or forget them in drawers. But collectors know a secret that most people don't. Sometimes the smallest, most ordinary coin can carry a life-changing value. And this particular 1993 penny is one of those rare hidden treasures that has captured the attention of serious collectors across the country. Now imagine this. You are cleaning out your car. You reach under the seat and find a handful of loose change. Among them is a penny. You almost throw it aside, but something catches your eye. The surface looks slightly different. The letters seem a little off. You take a closer look. And in that moment, your entire future shifts. Because what you are holding could be worth more than a luxury home. This is not just another coin story. This is a real-world treasure hunt. And the prize is sitting quietly in circulation, waiting for the right person to notice. It all comes down to a mysterious minting error. A mistake that was never supposed to happen. During the production process, coins are struck using carefully prepared dies. These dies are designed to create perfect, uniform coins. But sometimes, something goes wrong. And when it does, it creates a rare and unique variation that collectors are willing to pay enormous amounts of money to. In the case of this penny, experts believe that a rare doubling error occurred. This means that during the striking process, the design was impressed onto the coin more than once, slightly misaligned. The result is a subtle but powerful detail where the letters or numbers appear doubled. But here is the catch. The doubling is not always obvious. It can be incredibly small. Sometimes you need a magnifying glass or a keen eye to spot it. And that is why so many of these coins go unnoticed. Think about that for a moment. A coin worth over $1 million could pass through hundreds of hands without anyone realizing its true value. Now let's talk about the no mint mark detail. Most coins are stamped with a small letter indicating where they were made. You will usually find this tiny mark just below the date. But some 1993 pennies were struck without any mint mark at all. While this might seem like a small detail, it plays a critical role in identifying this rare variation. When you combine the missing mint mark with the doubling error, you get a coin that stands out from the rest. A coin that should not exist in this exact form. And that is exactly why collectors are willing to pay such a massive price for it. But the story does not end there. There have been reports of similar coins surfacing in unexpected places. Old coin jars, estate sales, even pocket change. Each time one appears, it sends shockwaves through the collector community. Because every new discovery proves that these coins are still out there, still circulating, still waiting. And here is where things get really exciting. You do not need to be a professional collector to find one. You do not need expensive equipment or years of experience. All you need is curiosity, attention to detail, and the willingness to look closely at the coins you already have. Start with your spare change. Check your wallet. Look through that jar of coins sitting on your shelf. Pay attention to every 1993 penny you find. Look closely at the date. Check for the absence of a mint mark. Then examine the letters in the word liberty and the phrase "In God We Trust." Even a small irregularity could be the clue that you are holding something extraordinary. And remember, condition matters too. Coins that are well preserved, with minimal wear, can command even higher prices. So if you find a promising penny, handle it carefully. Do not clean it. Do not scratch it. Keep it safe until you can have it evaluated by a professional. Now let's take a moment to imagine what finding this coin could mean for you. Picture yourself discovering it during a normal day. Maybe you are sorting through old belongings. Maybe you are helping a family member clean out their home. You come across a small collection of coins. At first, nothing seems special. But then you notice that one penny. You take a closer look. Your heart starts to race. You compare the details. No mint mark. Slight doubling. The signs are all there, and suddenly, everything changes. That one small coin could pay off your mortgage. It could fund your retirement. It could give you the financial freedom that most people only dream about. This is why coin collecting is more than just a hobby. It is a treasure hunt, a chance to uncover hidden value in the most unexpected places. But here is the truth that most people do not realize. Opportunities like this are rare, but they are real. And they reward those who are willing to pay attention. Every day, millions of coins change hands. Most of them are ordinary, but a few are not. A few carry secrets. A few hold incredible value. And those are the ones that can change lives. So do not ignore your change anymore. Do not assume that every penny is just a penny. Because somewhere out there, one of them is worth over $1 million. And it could be closer than you think. Right now, at this very moment, someone is going to find one of these coins. Someone is going to take that extra second to look closely. Someone is going to notice the detail that everyone else missed. And when they do, they will not just find a coin. They will find a fortune. Take action today. Start checking your coins. Make it a habit. Turn it into a daily routine. Because the more you look, the better your chances become. Most people see just a copper penny, something they toss into a jar or leave forgotten on a dresser. But collectors are desperate to pay over $2.8 million for a very specific 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny. This coin is not just rare. It's practically a ghost from the mint, a mysterious anomaly that was never supposed to exist, yet somehow slipped into circulation decades ago, waiting for a sharp-eyed person to notice its secrets. This is not ordinary pocket change. This is a coin that has been quietly hiding in plain sight. A secret fortune that could transform someone's life overnight. Imagine the thrill of finding $1 million coin while cleaning out your car, sifting through an old jar of coins, or just reaching into your pocket. It is the ultimate real-life treasure hunt, a test of patience, knowledge, and a keen eye for detail. The story of this penny begins in the early 90s at the United States Mint, where coins were being produced by the millions every day. Most pennies left the facility as ordinary, unremarkable pieces of copper and zinc. But a few were flawed, carrying errors that would go unnoticed for decades. Some coins were struck twice, some had letters that were slightly doubled, and a rare few had misaligned designs. Collectors today fight tooth and nail to get their hands on any coin with such anomalies. But the 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny stands apart because of a mysterious error that has become almost mythical in the world of numismatics. What makes this coin so valuable is subtle but unmistakable. You need to look at the tiny mint mark location below the date. If there's no mint mark at all, that's the first clue. Then inspect the letters carefully. Are the details slightly doubled? Is the strike off-center, or does the metal have a strange sheen? That imperfection, that deviation from the ordinary, is exactly what collectors are hunting for. Every subtle hint of an anomaly exponentially increases its value. This coin is not just copper. It is a piece of history, a rare artifact that holds within it the story of a minting mistake, a secret the government didn't intend to release. Over the years, a few of these coins have surfaced at auctions and private sales, shocking the numismatic world. There are reports of collectors paying millions of dollars for coins that at first glance look just like the ones you might have in your pocket. These transactions are not just about the money. They are about the thrill of owning something virtually impossible to find, something that few others will ever hold. Every sale adds to the legend, and every newly discovered coin rekindles the hope that the next one could be out there, waiting for you. Imagine holding it in your hand, a coin no larger than a fingertip, yet worth more than most people will earn in a lifetime. The weight of that reality is almost surreal. Most people think they would need to inherit a fortune or strike it rich in the stock market to ever experience such wealth. But this coin proves that sometimes the most incredible treasures are hiding in the most ordinary places. The jar of pennies on your kitchen counter, the loose change in your car, even a forgotten coin in your wallet. These mundane items could hide something extraordinary. The excitement is not just in the potential wealth. It is in the story, the mystery, the possibility of discovery. Collectors describe the hunt as addictive. Every time they search through coins, they feel a pulse of hope, imagining the moment when the right coin will reveal itself. It is not about luck alone. It is about knowledge, about understanding the signs and symbols that distinguish a normal penny from $1 million one. The doubled letters, the unusual metallic sheen, the off-center strike. These are the whispers of the mint's secret, calling to those who are ready to listen. You need to be meticulous. Take your time examining each coin. A magnifying glass is essential, and a well-lit area can make all the difference. Look at the date closely. Look for imperfections that seem deliberate but are actually mistakes of production. These errors are subtle, often so slight that an untrained eye would pass them by in an instant. But a trained collector knows that the smallest deviation can hold immense value. This is not just about coins. It is about seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary, recognizing what most people overlook. There is also the emotional side of discovery. Finding such a coin can be a life-changing experience. Some collectors describe the rush as comparable to winning the lottery. One moment, you are holding a common penny. The next, you realize it is something rare, something worth over $1 million. The feelings are overwhelming. Disbelief, excitement, a sense of destiny. And beyond the personal thrill, there is the legacy. Owning a coin like this places you in a select circle of individuals who have uncovered a rare secret, who have held history in their hands. The rarity of the 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny cannot be overstated. Millions of pennies were minted that year, yet only a tiny fraction were struck with this mysterious error. That scarcity drives the market value and the competitive frenzy among collectors. Auctions for such coins often see prices soaring into the millions. Some have even reported market values reaching nearly $3.1 million for coins in pristine, uncirculated condition. The high stakes are real, and the legends of these transactions inspire countless collectors to search tirelessly. It's important to note that condition is critical. A penny that has been heavily circulated may still hold value if it has the correct error, but pristine examples command the highest prices. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are flawless, with sharp details and clean metal. This is why careful handling is essential. Do not clean the coin aggressively, as this can reduce its value significantly. Even fingerprints or scratches can affect the price. A coin is not just an object. It is an artifact, a treasure to be preserved for future generations. The hunt for the next 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is ongoing. Every year, more jars of coins, boxes of change, and collections are examined with hope and anticipation. Some are found in attics, passed down through families who had no idea of their value. Others surface in circulation, picked up by cashiers or discovered during everyday transactions. Every discovery reignites the excitement, proving that this treasure could be anywhere. Your next step could be life-changing. The next coin you examine could be the one that changes everything. Even beyond the financial aspect, this coin represents a story. It is a story of human error, of a minting process that produced something extraordinary by accident. It is a story of patience, of vigilance, of people who dedicate their lives to searching for the rare and remarkable. And it is a story that you could be part of. By examining your coins carefully, by educating yourself on what to look for, you place yourself in the ranks of those who have a chance to discover a modern-day treasure. A simple jar of pennies, perhaps forgotten for years, suddenly becomes a source of unimaginable wealth. The realization that something so ordinary could be so extraordinary is both humbling and exhilarating. It is the ultimate paradox of collecting. The smallest objects can carry the largest value. The mundane can conceal the miraculous. This coin is waiting. Perhaps it is in your drawer, under a stack of papers, or mixed in with your everyday change. Perhaps it has been waiting for decades, passed from hand to hand, until it reaches someone who is ready to recognize its worth. The 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is more than a coin. It is a symbol of hidden potential, a reminder that the extraordinary can exist in the most ordinary places. So stop what you are doing and start searching. Examine your coins closely, learn the signs of the rare minting errors, and imagine the moment when you finally spot it. That tiny detail, almost imperceptible to others, could be your ticket to millions. The thrill of discovery, the story of the mint, the potential for life-changing wealth. It all comes together in this single copper penny. Someone will find it, and when they do, the world will marvel. And why not you? Today could be the day that changes everything. The day a simple coin transforms your life forever. Take out your coins, study them carefully, and look for the telltale signs. No mint mark, doubled letters, off-center strike, unusual metallic luster. These are the markers that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. Remember, every coin in your hand could be hiding a fortune, and the next life-changing discovery could be just a touch away. This is not just speculation. It is history repeating itself. Coins like these have turned ordinary people into millionaires overnight. They have transformed collections into treasures, jars of pennies into legends. The 1993 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is waiting, and it might already be in your possession. All it takes is careful observation, knowledge, and the willingness to see what most people miss. But collectors are desperate to pay over $2.9 million for this specific 1994 D-mint Mark Lincoln penny. It is not the common coin you grew up seeing every day. This coin carries a mysterious minting error that was never supposed to exist, a ghost from the mint that has been circulating for decades, quietly waiting for one lucky person to notice the secret doubling on the letters or the rare metallic strike that distinguishes it from every other penny. Imagine the thrill, the disbelief, the sheer life-altering moment when you realize that the mundane change in your hand could be worth more than most people earn in a lifetime. This is not hyperbole. It is history, value, and destiny all rolled into a single piece of copper. For decades, the 1994 D Lincoln penny slipped quietly through cash registers, parking meters, and vending machines, blending in with millions of ordinary pennies. Most eyes passed over it, blind to its unique flaw, blind to the silent story it held within its tiny surface. But collectors, the true hunters of hidden wealth, have been scanning through piles of coins, scrutinizing every curve, every edge, and every mark, knowing that somewhere in the chaos of everyday money lies a treasure that could change their life forever. They know that this coin is not just a penny. It is a bridge to a fortune, a key that could unlock over $2.9 million, a tangible piece of history that holds unimaginable value for the few who can recognize its secret. The mystery begins with the mint mark, the small but critical letter just below the date on the coin. On ordinary pennies, the D mint mark is crisp, clean, and precise. But on this rare coin, the mint mark carries a subtle imperfection, a whisper of the minting process gone slightly awry. It may appear slightly doubled or off-center, almost imperceptible to the casual observer. This tiny anomaly, invisible to most, is the signal to collectors that this coin is extraordinary. It is the difference between a coin worth a few cents and a coin worth a fortune. And unlike stocks or real estate, this treasure has been literally hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right hands to recognize it. Consider the story behind the coin. In 1994, the United States Mint produced millions of pennies with meticulous care, yet human error is impossible to eliminate entirely. Somewhere along the assembly line, a single coin, or perhaps a few, emerged with a slight doubling, a misaligned strike, an almost imperceptible flaw that would later define its legacy. This was never intended, never planned, and yet it created one of the most sought-after coins in modern history. It is a reminder that even mistakes can become legends, that beauty and value often hide in imperfections, and that extraordinary opportunity can emerge from the ordinary in ways no one could predict. Now imagine for a moment that this coin is sitting somewhere in your house. Perhaps it is buried in a jar of change you have been saving for years. Perhaps it slipped between the cushions of your couch or fell unnoticed under a table. Perhaps it is tucked away in an old box, forgotten among decades of memorabilia, waiting for the right person to pick it up and recognize its true worth. The thrill of discovering $1 million in a humble penny is unlike anything else in life. It is the ultimate real-life treasure hunt, a moment that can pay off your mortgage, fund your dreams, or provide financial security beyond what most people ever hope to achieve. It begins with careful observation. The date and mint mark are critical. Examine the letters of Lincoln's name and the other fine details. Are there tiny anomalies, subtle differences that set this coin apart from every other penny in your collection? This is where the story comes alive, where ordinary change becomes a portal to unimaginable wealth. The difference is small, the anomaly subtle, but the reward is monumental. Collectors around the world know the value of this coin. They scour coin shops, auctions, and online marketplaces for any sign of the 1994 D penny with the rare minting error. When one surfaces, it can fetch astronomical prices. There have been verified sales reaching over $2.9 million for coins in pristine condition. These are not numbers pulled from fiction. They are the real results of an obsessive market that prizes rarity, condition, and historical significance above all else. One moment, a coin may be in the hands of an ordinary person, unnoticed, undervalued, and overlooked. The next moment, in the hands of a collector who recognizes its significance, it can instantly transform into a seven-figure treasure. Think about the impact of discovering such a coin. For some, it might mean retiring early, securing the future for their family, or finally achieving a dream they have pursued for decades. For others, it could be a once-in-a-lifetime story to tell, a tale of luck, observation, and timing that becomes part of family lore. The excitement is not just in the monetary value. It is in the journey of discovery, the thrill of recognition, the awe of holding something that so few have ever seen, let alone possessed. And yet, for every person who dreams of finding this legendary penny, few will ever experience it. That is what makes it so powerful, so magnetic, and so compelling. It is not just about wealth. It is about the pursuit of something extraordinary hidden in the ordinary. It is a reminder that the world still contains secrets, that hidden treasures are still possible, and that sometimes the most remarkable things are hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right person to notice. As you hold your coins, take a moment to study them. Run your fingers over the surfaces, examine the date and the mint mark with careful eyes, and consider the possibility that one of these unassuming pieces of metal could change your life forever. The 1994 D Lincoln penny with the rare minting error is not just a coin. It is a symbol of opportunity, of luck, of patience, and of the thrill of discovery. It reminds us that even in the mundane, extraordinary things can appear, and that fortune favors those who pay attention to the smallest details. History has shown that these coins are extremely rare. The mint produced them in error, and very few survived in circulation without being noticed or damaged. Those that remain are now priceless to collectors who understand the magnitude of their rarity. Every scratch, every detail, every subtle imperfection matters. This is why experts advise caution and meticulous observation. It is why coin collectors treat these finds with reverence and respect. To preserve it, to verify it, and to appreciate its place in history. Imagine the moment when you finally recognize the telltale signs. Perhaps it is in the quiet of your living room, as you pour through coins with the patience of a treasure hunter. Perhaps it is during a moment of casual curiosity, when you pick up a penny and something just looks different. The heart races, the mind races, and suddenly the world seems to expand. You have stumbled upon something that most people never even consider, a tiny piece of history with value beyond imagination. This is not just luck. This is discovery, perception, and timing all converging in a single, life-changing instant. Collectors know that opportunity waits for no one. The coin could appear in your life today, tomorrow, or years from now. But the key is vigilance, awareness, and the willingness to look beyond the surface. Ordinary coins are overlooked because they appear mundane, but hidden within those piles of change may be a treasure that could redefine your life. The 1994 D Lincoln penny is proof that extraordinary value can exist where we least expect it, and that sometimes the right eyes at the right moment can transform something ordinary into something priceless. But for collectors, this specific 2013 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is the ultimate prize. It's not just copper and zinc. It's a ghost from the mint that slipped through the cracks, a coin that was never supposed to exist exactly as it does. And now, decades later, it is creating a frenzy among serious collectors who are willing to pay over $1 million to get their hands on it. Imagine for a moment, you're sorting through your spare change, mindlessly tossing coins aside, and suddenly your eyes catch something unusual. The letters on the date seem slightly doubled. The tiny D mint mark seems to be in the wrong position. The metallic strike looks just a little off. To most people, these are insignificant details, invisible even, but to a coin expert, they are the hallmark of something rare, something extraordinary, something that could change a life in an instant. This penny isn't just an ordinary coin. It's the result of a mysterious minting error, one that was never intended to survive. Somewhere in the depths of the United States Mint, a mistake occurred, and out came a coin with a secret doubling on the letters, a strike slightly off-center, or a subtle anomaly that sets it apart from the millions of pennies produced that year. It's a coin with a story, a coin with an identity, and for one lucky person, it could be the key to a fortune that most people only dream of. Collectors have spent decades searching for coins like this, and the excitement is palpable. Auctions have reported sales reaching incredible figures, showing that the market value for a coin like this can reach over $1 million in top condition. It's not just theoretical, it's real. There are documented cases of buyers paying eye-watering sums to own a piece of history that most people never even notice in their pocket change. The first thing to look for is the mint mark, located right below the date. On a 2013 D penny, this mark is crucial. If the mark looks slightly doubled, if it seems misplaced, or if the letters around it appear thicker or thinner than usual, you might be looking at something that very few people on Earth have ever held in their hands. Next, check the alignment of the coin. Some of these rare pennies were struck slightly off-center, giving the entire design a faintly lopsided appearance. This imperfection is what makes it so valuable. What looks like a flaw to the untrained eye is actually a signature of fortune. Every detail counts. The subtle glint of the metal, the sharpness of the letters, the spacing of the mint mark, all of it is a clue pointing to a potential fortune. It's almost like a treasure map hiding in plain sight, a puzzle that only those willing to look closely will solve. And the rewards are staggering. Imagine finding a coin while cleaning out your car, or digging through an old jar of coins on the kitchen counter, only to realize that it could pay off your mortgage or fund a dream you've held for decades. This is not fantasy. This is the real-life thrill of numismatics, where every penny could hide $1 million secret. Collectors describe the feeling of discovering a rare coin as unlike anything else. There's the initial disbelief, the racing heartbeat, the knowledge that you may be holding something that very few people in the world have ever seen. Then comes the meticulous inspection, the magnifying glass, the comparison with reference books, and the final realization that you may have stumbled upon a coin of legendary value. It's a moment that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. The answer lies in the vast quantities of coins produced each year, combined with the tiny, nearly imperceptible errors that make a coin truly unique. Mistakes happen in every minting process, but only a handful survive and even fewer are discovered. And now, after years of quietly circulating, the coin is ready to be recognized for what it is, a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. It's important to understand that not every 2013 penny holds this potential. Most are worth exactly what they should be, 1 cent. But the rare ones carry something intangible, a piece of history, a glimpse into the inner workings of the mint, and a story that collectors can't resist. That's why prices reach the stratosphere when one of these coins appears on the market. The combination of rarity, condition, and historical significance can turn an ordinary penny into a life-changing asset almost instantly. If you're holding a coin and you suspect it could be extraordinary, don't rush to sell it immediately. Take the time to inspect it carefully. Look for that mint mark, study the letters and numbers on the date, check for doubling, misalignment, or unusual strikes. Photograph it, catalog it, and if possible, have it professionally appraised by someone who specializes in rare coins. The difference between a standard penny and $1 million penny can be subtle, almost invisible, and every detail matters. The thrill of discovery is part of the allure. Every collector dreams of the day they stumble upon a coin that transforms their life. Some find it in change jars, others in antique collections, and some are lucky enough to spot it while simply emptying their pockets. There's no way to predict it, no schedule to follow. The next $1 million penny could appear anywhere, at any time, and the person who notices it first will have a story to tell for the rest of their life. Imagine holding that coin in your hand. Imagine the weight of possibility, the knowledge that one small object can hold such enormous value. Imagine the pride of being the one who recognized a mistake from the mint as a treasure, who understood the significance when others only saw ordinary metal. For collectors, it's a dream come true, a moment that turns years of searching, studying, and obsessing over coins into a single, unforgettable experience. Even if you never discover this specific coin yourself, understanding its story teaches something valuable about patience, observation, and the thrill of the hunt. Rare coins remind us that extraordinary things often hide in the most ordinary places. They teach us to look closer, to notice details, and to appreciate the hidden stories in everyday objects. And for those who do spot it, the rewards are as much emotional as they are financial. The excitement, the pride, and the joy of holding something truly unique in your hands. Examine the pennies, look for subtle differences, pay attention to tiny imperfections, and study the mint marks. The world's most valuable coins have been discovered this way, in moments when ordinary routines intersected with extraordinary luck. You could be the next person to hold a coin that commands attention and admiration, a coin that could literally be worth over $1 million. It's about possibility, hope, and the magic of discovery. It's about realizing that even in the smallest, most overlooked corners of life, extraordinary things can exist. A single moment of attention, a single careful inspection, could change everything. It's about seeing beyond the surface, recognizing what others cannot, and claiming a piece of history for yourself. Collectors know that the thrill never ends. Even after one discovery, the search continues, because every coin tells a story and every mint error represents another opportunity. But few moments compare to the very first time you realize the true value of a coin in your possession. The 2013 mint Mark Lincoln penny is more than copper and zinc. It's a symbol of the extraordinary hiding in the ordinary, waiting for someone perceptive enough to notice that. So, check your pockets. Check your drawers. Look through old jars, coin collections, and even forgotten piggy banks. Look closely at the date, the mint mark, the lettering, and the strike. The difference between an ordinary penny and $1 million treasure can be imperceptibly small, but the reward is unimaginably large. Someone is going to find the next one today. It could be in your pocket, your wallet, or your desk. And when it happens, when you finally recognize the error that makes the coin so rare, you will experience a moment of pure wonder, a mix of disbelief, excitement, and joy that few ever get to feel. This is the ultimate treasure hunt, a real-life adventure with a prize that can change a life overnight. One penny, hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone who is willing to look, to notice, and to act. The rest of the world passes by, oblivious, While the collector who pays attention may walk away with more than just a coin, they may walk away with a fortune, a story, and a moment of history they will never forget. But there is one penny, a 2011 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, that has collectors absolutely desperate. People are willing to pay over $1 million for this single coin. And the reason is a mysterious minting error that was never supposed to exist. This isn't just pocket change. It is a ghost from the mint, a secret that has been quietly circulating for years, waiting for one lucky person to notice. You are cleaning out your car, or perhaps rummaging through an old jar of coins you forgot about, and suddenly, something catches your eye. It is small, almost invisible to the untrained eye, but the letters look slightly doubled. The strike seems off-center. The metallic gleam is subtly different from every other penny you have ever seen. That is when the adrenaline kicks in, because in that single moment, you realize that you could be holding a piece of history, a coin so rare that its value surpasses most people's wildest dreams. What makes this penny so extraordinary is that it carries an error that experts describe as nearly impossible. A doubling effect on the date or the mint mark, or an unusual metallic strike that should never have been released to the public, turns a simple 1-cent piece into a treasure worth over $1 million. It is not exaggeration. This is a real-world phenomenon, with collectors and investors who spend years searching for just one of these elusive coins. Every detail matters, from the way the light catches the letters to the tiniest imperfection on the surface. For decades, the mint has produced billions of pennies, each one virtually identical. Yet somehow, this 2011 D Mint Mark penny slipped through the cracks, a flaw unnoticed until collectors began to recognize its unique characteristics. Unlike other coins that lose value with wear and tear, this coin's rarity is intrinsic. Even a penny that appears slightly worn or circulated can command staggering prices if it bears the unmistakable sign of the minting error. First, look closely at the mint mark. It is small, just a single letter beneath the date. But for this coin, the D is different. It may look doubled, shifted, or slightly off-center, as if it was pressed in a hurry or misaligned on the die. These tiny imperfections are what separate a standard penny from one that could change someone's life overnight. Next, examine the lettering and the design on the front. The image of Abraham Lincoln should be familiar, yet on this penny, even the smallest variations in the lines or edges may signal that it is part of this rare, highly sought-after error series. Collectors describe the excitement of finding this coin as indescribable. It is a rush unlike any other, a moment where ordinary objects transform into extraordinary wealth. Some have spent years meticulously sorting through rolls of pennies, their hands aching from the endless search, driven by the hope of uncovering the one coin that could pay off their mortgage, fund their retirement, or secure a legacy for their family. And yet, despite the millions of coins minted every year, these rare errors remain so scarce that each discovery makes headlines, sending shockwaves through the coin-collecting community. Mint workers have often hinted at mistakes in production, tiny accidents that occurred during the minting process. Yet no official record exists of how many of these pennies ever escaped into circulation. Some believe only a handful exist, each one carefully hidden among billions of ordinary coins, waiting for the right hands to find them. That rarity is what drives the astronomical value. Collectors will pay more than most people earn in a lifetime for a coin that carries this kind of secret, but the allure is not just financial. There is a sense of discovery, of holding a piece of history that few will ever see. This penny represents the extraordinary hiding in the ordinary, the idea that a life-changing treasure could be in your pocket right now, unnoticed. It is a tangible reminder that sometimes luck favors the observant, the patient, and the determined. Every jar of coins, every drawer, every pocket could hold the key to unimaginable fortune. Experts advise that if you are searching for this penny, take your time. Do not be hasty. Use good lighting, a magnifying glass, and patience. Examine each coin carefully. Pay attention to the smallest details. Look for the doubling on the letters, the slightly off-center mint mark, the subtle metallic variations. These are the markers of a coin that could transform your life. Even a seasoned collector can miss them, which is why they often go undiscovered for decades. The 2011 D Mint Mark penny is not just a story of rarity. It is a story of hope and perseverance. It shows that even in the most mundane objects, incredible value can be hiding. It is proof that patience, attention to detail, and a little bit of luck can intersect in a moment that changes everything. Imagine telling your friends that a coin from your pocket turned out to be worth over $1 million. It sounds like a dream, yet it is happening more frequently than you might expect as collectors continue to uncover these hidden gems. Collectors who have found similar pennies describe the experience as life-altering. The first thought is disbelief, followed by excitement, and then the careful confirmation process. Grading experts are called in to verify authenticity. Photographs are taken, and news of the discovery spreads quickly. A coin that might have been overlooked in a jar or a cash register becomes a centerpiece of a collection, a story told for generations, and a fortune in the hands of one lucky individual. And the opportunity is still out there. While the coins are rare, the search is ongoing. Every roll of pennies, every forgotten stash in a drawer, every coin jar gathering dust could contain the next million-dollar find. It could be sitting quietly on your desk, in your car, or in a wallet that has not been opened for years. And the truth is, someone is going to find the next one today. It could be you. The thrill of discovery is only part of the story. There is also the lesson that wealth can be hidden in the most unexpected places. You do not have to inherit a fortune or win the lottery to stumble upon life-changing money. Sometimes, it is right there in your hands, disguised as something ordinary, waiting for the observant eye to recognize it. That is the beauty of collecting and the allure of rare coins. They remind us that history, art, and value can intersect in ways that defy expectation. So, as you go about your day, take a moment to inspect the pennies around you. Do not dismiss them as trivial. Look closely, pay attention to the details, and remember that the difference between a common coin and $1 million treasure can be just a fraction of a millimeter on the mint mark or a subtle doubling on a letter. It is a test of observation, patience, and a willingness to believe that extraordinary things can exist in everyday objects. This is more than a coin. It is a story, a mystery, a treasure hunt, and a potential fortune all rolled into one. The 2011 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is proof that even the most familiar things can hold incredible secrets. It is a reminder that history is alive, that errors can become treasures, and that fortune sometimes comes disguised as a simple penny. Every time you pick up a coin, consider the possibility that it could be special. Examine it carefully, study its details, and think about the stories it might tell. Among the billions of pennies in circulation, one or two may be extraordinary. That is why collectors are willing to pay more than $1 million for the right coin. That is why the 2011 D Mint Mark penny has captured the imagination of enthusiasts around the country. And that is why the next great discovery could be sitting quietly in your pocket or a jar at home, waiting for you to notice. This is not just a dream. It is reality. The next millionaire coin could be found today, and it could be in your hands. Do not ignore the ordinary. Pay attention, stay vigilant, and remember that the tiniest detail can hold unimaginable value. That penny in your pocket is more than it seems. Look closely, and you might just find $1 million treasure hiding in plain sight. But collectors know better. There is one coin, a specific 1981 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, that has turned ordinary pocket change into a ticket to unimaginable wealth. Experts and collectors have been known to pay over $1 million for this single coin. And it is all because of a mysterious minting error that was never supposed to exist. Imagine holding a coin that looks completely ordinary in your hand, only to realize that it is one of the rarest pieces in the entire history of American coinage. This is not an exaggeration or a tall tale. It is a real phenomenon. The 1981 no mint Mark Lincoln penny hides subtle clues that make it extraordinary, and those tiny details are worth more than a lifetime of work for most people. It is a ghost from the mint, a mistake that somehow slipped through quality control, circulating quietly among ordinary coins for decades, waiting for a sharp-eyed collector to recognize its value. Oh, what makes this penny worth over $1 million? The secret lies in the minting error, the flaw that was never meant to exist. On this coin, the letters, the date, or sometimes the metallic strike can appear doubled, slightly off-center, or subtly distorted. It is the tiniest imperfection, almost impossible for the untrained eye to spot, that transforms a common penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure. These errors are rare because the U.S. Mint has strict quality controls, and most coins that show even a slight mistake are removed from circulation before they ever reach the public. Yet somehow, a handful of these anomalies made it into your pocket change, quietly waiting to be discovered. Now imagine cleaning out your car, opening an old jar of coins that has been sitting untouched for years, or even rifling through the change in your wallet. Among the familiar copper tones and worn surfaces, one coin might suddenly stand out, catching your eye with a glint or an unusual detail that seems almost impossible to explain. This is the moment that has changed lives. One lucky person, somewhere in the United States, has picked up this very penny and realized it could be worth more than their house, more than a lifetime of savings, more than a dream they thought was impossible. Collectors describe the experience as a real-life treasure hunt. There is suspense, excitement, and the thrill of discovery all wrapped into one tiny copper coin. Unlike lottery tickets or investments that may or may not pay off, finding a rare coin like this can instantly transform your life. Stories abound of coins that were found in couch cushions, in old jars of coins forgotten in basements, or even in cash drawers left behind during moves. A simple routine task can suddenly become the discovery of a lifetime. To spot this million-dollar coin, you need to look carefully at the details. Start with the date. On the 1981 Lincoln penny, there should be no mint mark below the date, and that absence is normal. But the magic comes when you inspect the letters and the edges. Sometimes the letters appear slightly doubled, almost as if the engraver had made a subtle error. Sometimes the strike of the coin is uneven, or the metal shows a rare shine that differs from ordinary pennies. It is these microscopic imperfections that make the coin invaluable. The key is patience, a sharp eye, and the willingness to examine each penny closely instead of dismissing it as ordinary change. Even seasoned collectors admit that these coins can be tricky to identify. The doubling is often subtle, requiring good lighting, a magnifying glass, and a careful look at the lettering and numbers. The metallic strike might seem ordinary to the untrained eye, but under careful inspection, it can reveal a pattern or flaw that only exists on a handful of pennies minted in that specific year. Experts pay close attention to the contours of the letters, the depth of the minting, and the overall alignment of the coin. What looks like a normal penny at first glance can become a life-changing treasure once these hidden clues are recognized. It is not just about monetary value, though. Holding a coin like this connects you to history, to the era in which it was minted, and to the mystery of how such an error occurred. The U.S. Mint has produced billions of coins, but only a few have escaped with such rare mistakes intact. Each coin carries a story, a secret that was almost lost to time, now waiting for the right person to bring it into the light. The thrill of discovery is part of what makes coin collecting so compelling. There is an emotional rush that comes from knowing that you may be holding something that has eluded experts and collectors for decades. Consider the stories of previous discoveries. Some coins were found in rolls of change from banks, unsuspecting collectors casually flipping through pennies and suddenly noticing an anomaly. Others were discovered in jars of coins left behind by grandparents or relatives, coins that had been handled and forgotten, carrying with them decades of history and hidden value. These stories are proof that extraordinary wealth can literally be hiding in plain sight, right under our noses, waiting for someone with the curiosity and patience to find it. The value of the 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny with a minting error has been reported to reach over $1 million in top condition. That is more than most people earn in several lifetimes, concentrated into a single coin that you could literally hold in your hand. Imagine the possibilities: paying off a mortgage, securing your family's financial future, or simply experiencing the life-changing excitement of holding a coin that is more valuable than most of the cash in circulation. For collectors, the significance goes beyond the dollar figure. It is about rarity, the thrill of discovery, and the undeniable prestige of owning something truly extraordinary. And yet, despite the high value and the excitement surrounding it, this coin is still out there, quietly circulating among ordinary change. That is the part that makes it so tantalizing. Anyone could have it. It could be sitting in a drawer, buried in a jar, or slipped into a cash register unnoticed for decades. There is a sense of immediacy, of urgency in searching for this coin. Every penny you examine could be the one that changes your life. Every glance, every careful inspection, is a step closer to the moment when the ordinary transforms into the extraordinary. Collectors and experts urge you not to overlook the details. Take your time with each coin, examine the date carefully, inspect the letters, and check for subtle doubling or unusual metallic features. Use a magnifying glass, good lighting, and a patient eye. Do not rush. The most valuable coins are often the ones that appear most ordinary at first glance. That is the secret of the 1981 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny with a rare minting error. Its value is hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone willing to notice what everyone else misses. The next discovery could happen today. It could be you holding that coin, realizing that an ordinary penny has just turned into a multi-million-dollar treasure. The excitement of that moment, the disbelief, the joy, and the immediate knowledge that your life has just changed forever is something that collectors chase their entire lives. And now, with so many coins still in circulation, that moment could be closer than you think. This is more than just coin collecting. This is the ultimate treasure hunt, a real-world adventure where the stakes are life-changing. Every coin you touch could be hiding secrets that will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about money, luck, and history. The 1981 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny with a rare minting error is not just a coin. It is a symbol of possibility, proof that fortune can appear in the most unexpected places, and that extraordinary wealth can be found in the most ordinary of objects. So stop what you are doing and check your pockets. Examine the coins in your wallet, your car, your drawers, and your jars. Look for that subtle doubling on the letters, the rare metallic strike, the off-center impression that distinguishes this coin from every other penny in circulation. This is not a drill or a rumor. This is real, tangible, life-changing treasure waiting to be found. Someone will discover the next one today, and it could be you. The opportunity is right there, hiding in plain sight, waiting for the curious, the patient, and the observant to recognize it. The 1981 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is more than copper and metal. It is a ticket to dreams fulfilled, a symbol of luck and timing, and a reminder that sometimes the greatest treasures are hiding in the most unassuming places. Take the time to look, to observe, and to appreciate the history in your hand. One coin could make the impossible possible. One moment of discovery could rewrite your life. And right now, among the change you have handled every day without a second thought, the legendary coin waits. One specific coin from 1988, a no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, has become one of the most coveted treasures in the numismatic world. This isn't just pocket change. It's a ghost from the mint, a mysterious error that was never supposed to exist, quietly circulating among ordinary coins, waiting for someone to notice. Imagine the excitement of picking up a handful of pennies and discovering that one of them could pay off your mortgage, cover a lifetime of bills, or change your life in an instant. This is not a fantasy. It has happened before. Stories of collectors stumbling upon coins worth hundreds of thousands, even over $1 million, are real. And the 1988 no-mint Mark penny has quietly joined this elite club of hidden fortunes. The secret lies in the details, the small anomalies that most people never notice. On this penny, you need to examine the tiny letters and the metal itself. Some coins show slight doubling on the letters, a rare minting defect that causes the inscriptions to appear thicker in some areas and almost floating in others. Other coins have a metallic strike that is slightly off, a subtle flaw that makes the coin almost imperceptibly different from every other penny minted that year. These are the clues collectors look for, the signs that this ordinary coin is actually an extraordinary treasure. Over the decades, stories of this coin have grown into legend. There have been sales reported in auction houses reaching astonishing figures. Top condition examples have been known to command over $1 million, turning a simple pocket coin into a fortune. And yet, for every story of a coin sold for a life-changing sum, countless more remain undiscovered, lying in jars, drawers, and forgotten rolls of change. It's a silent game of chance, a real-life treasure hunt that could find its winner today. The thrill of finding a coin like this is almost indescribable. Picture yourself cleaning out your car or sifting through an old jar of coins. Your hand brushes against a penny, and something about it catches your eye. Perhaps the letters on the date look slightly doubled, or the metal seems subtly different in color or weight. Your pulse quickens as you realize this could be the one, the coin that has haunted collectors' dreams for decades. You are holding in your hand what could easily be worth over $1 million. Understanding why this penny is so valuable requires a peek behind the curtain of minting history. In 1988, the United States Mint produced billions of pennies. The process was meant to be precise, mechanical perfection ensuring each coin was identical. But somewhere along the way, a few coins slipped through with errors, tiny imperfections that, while negligible to the average eye, are gold to collectors. A missing mint mark or a slightly doubled strike is enough to turn a common penny into a coin of extraordinary value. These errors were never intended, yet they became the very reason some coins now command staggering sums in private collections and at auction. Collectors chase these coins not only for their value, but for the thrill, the story behind them. Each coin has its own journey, passing through countless hands, quietly hidden in circulation for decades, waiting to reveal its secret to the one person who can recognize it. Imagine the exhilaration of holding in your palm the same coin that could sell for over $1 million. The anticipation, the historical significance, the rarity, it all comes together in a single, small piece of copper. Oh, how do you know if the coin in your pocket is the one? Start with the date. Look closely at the numbers, examine the letters, and pay attention to any slight doubling or irregularity. Inspect the area where the mint mark should be. On the no mint mark penny, it will be absent entirely. The edges of the letters and the shine of the copper can tell you more than you think. Even a minor imperfection that seems inconsequential to an untrained eye can make this coin a millionaire's dream. The stories are endless. One collector discovered a 1988 no-mint mark penny tucked away in a jar of coins inherited from a relative. What started as casual curiosity turned into disbelief as the coin was authenticated and appraised. Another coin, found in loose change at a local grocery store, stunned the collector when it fetched a jaw-dropping sum at auction. Each discovery is a testament to the unpredictability of this hunt, the hidden fortune waiting for those who know what to look for. It could be more than just copper and zinc. It could be a ticket to unimaginable wealth, a tangible piece of history that connects you to the craftsmanship of the mint decades ago. This isn't a fantasy. It's a reality that has transformed ordinary lives and continues to promise life-changing discoveries for those willing to look closely. The excitement doesn't stop at the coin itself. Collectors often find themselves drawn into a larger story, the hunt for other error coins, the thrill of auctions, the camaraderie of a community that shares the same obsession. Every coin tells a story, but few tell a story of mystery, scarcity, and potential fortune quite like the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. It's a symbol of chance, of history, and of the rare opportunity to find $1 million treasure in the palm of your hand. Perhaps the most exhilarating part is knowing that this coin could be anywhere. It could be in a jar on a shelf, in a purse, under a couch cushion, or sitting unnoticed in your pocket. Its journey is unpredictable, and that's part of what makes the hunt so irresistible. Every coin you examine, every roll you unroll, could be the one that changes everything. The anticipation is electric, the potential real, and the stakes higher than almost any other collectible you'll ever encounter. For collectors and treasure hunters alike, the 1988 no-mint mark penny represents more than money. It's a symbol of discovery, patience, and attention to detail. Each small anomaly, each irregularity, is a doorway to fortune. And in a world where ordinary coins pass unnoticed by millions every day, the chance to uncover one of these rare gems is a story worth chasing. As you reach for your coins, pause and consider the possibility. Look carefully at the pennies in your possession, check the details, and examine the letters and edges. That simple act of curiosity could reveal a secret that has been hiding in plain sight for decades. You could be the next person to hold a coin valued at over $1 million, the next to experience the thrill of discovering a hidden fortune, the next to turn a small piece of copper into a life-changing treasure. The 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is not just a coin. It's a legend, a testament to the rare errors of history and the dreams of collectors. It's proof that extraordinary value can hide where you least expect it, waiting for a sharp eye, a curious mind, and a little bit of luck to bring it to light. And today, it might just be in your hands. The hunt is ongoing, the excitement real, and the fortune enormous. Every time you handle a coin, remember, the next one you pick up could be the discovery of a lifetime. The next one could be worth over $1 million. The next one could be the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, waiting for you to notice its secret. Check your coins. Inspect the details. Hold your breath. And maybe, just maybe, your life is about to change forever. Most people see just a copper penny, something so ordinary that it barely registers when you pick it up. But collectors know better. They are willing to pay over $1.4 million for a specific 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. This coin is not ordinary, not even close. It carries a mysterious minting error that was never supposed to exist, a secret flaw that transforms a simple piece of copper into a gateway to unimaginable wealth. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that could change your life forever, a ghost from the mint that has been quietly circulating for decades, waiting for one lucky person to recognize the secret hidden within its details. This isn't just pocket change. This is the stuff of dreams. People spend their lives searching for treasures buried in forgotten corners. But this treasure has been in circulation the entire time, hiding in plain sight. It could be in your car, in an old jar of coins on a dusty shelf, or in the loose change at the bottom of your purse. And when you finally spot it, you'll realize that finding this coin is like stumbling upon $1 million while doing something as mundane as cleaning out your desk drawer. The key lies in its subtle, almost imperceptible minting error. If you know what to look for, it jumps out at you immediately, as if the coin is screaming for attention. The most important detail to examine is the tiny area right below the date. Look closely at the letters, the numbers, and the edges. If you notice that something is slightly off, slightly doubled, or if the strike seems misaligned, you have just identified the very hallmark that turns a simple penny into a prize worth over $1 million. Collectors call it a doubling error, but that phrase doesn't even begin to capture the wonder of it. It is the kind of imperfection that occurs when the minting process goes just slightly astray, producing something that was never intended to survive. In the case of the 1989 penny, this imperfection is so rare that it has been the subject of whispered legends in the coin-collecting world for decades. Thousands of people have searched for it, scoured every roll of pennies, and yet only a handful of authentic examples are known to exist. And because of that scarcity, the market has responded with staggering numbers. Coins like this have been known to sell for more than $1 million in pristine condition, and every time one surfaces, it makes headlines around the world. Imagine the scene. You are sorting through a jar of coins, half paying attention, and suddenly one penny catches your eye. Something about it feels different. Maybe the lettering seems bolder than usual. Maybe the shine is a little off, or the copper color has a hint of something unexpected. You take a closer look and notice the tiniest anomaly, a faint doubling on the date or an off-center strike. Your heart begins to race. You pull out your magnifying glass, examine it from every angle, and then it hits you. This is it. This is the coin that could change everything. Your mind starts racing with possibilities. Bills paid off, debts cleared, investments made, dreams realized. All from a single, unassuming penny. But it isn't just about money. Owning a coin like this connects you to a mysterious chapter in history, to the people who worked at the mint and the machines that, for one brief moment, created something that was never meant to exist. There is a story behind every flaw, every double strike, every subtle irregularity. This is a coin that carries a secret, a hidden history that only a few can truly appreciate. When you hold it, you are holding a piece of time, a moment frozen in copper that somehow survived, waiting for the right hands to notice it. Finding such a penny is not as improbable as you might think. Many of the high-value coins discovered in recent years were hiding in plain sight, mixed in with ordinary change, completely unnoticed for decades. A man in New York once discovered a rare Lincoln penny in a pile of coins at a local supermarket. A woman in Texas found one tucked away in a box of inherited coins from her grandfather. In every case, it was a moment of pure serendipity, a life-changing revelation that turned the mundane act of counting coins into a personal treasure hunt. You don't need to travel to distant lands or search through ancient ruins to find your fortune. The 1989 penny could be anywhere, even in your own home. The key is knowing what to look for and paying attention to the details that most people overlook. Check the date first. Examine the area just below the date for any signs of doubling or misalignment. Look at the lettering carefully, noticing any strange shadows or extra lines that appear to be duplicated. Rotate the coin, tilt it in the light, and study it from every angle. The difference between a regular penny and $1 million penny can be almost imperceptible, but once you spot it, you'll know. There is also a rare metallic strike that collectors hunt for, a subtle variation in the copper alloy that gives the coin a unique shimmer. Only a few of these exist in the entire world, and the combination of the doubling error and this rare strike is what drives the price to astronomical levels. In fact, experts estimate that the value of a coin like this in top condition could exceed $1.4 million. Think about that. One small penny, just 30 millimeters in diameter, with the power to completely change someone's financial future. It is the ultimate real-life treasure hunt. Collectors and dealers constantly circulate stories of coins like these, and each new discovery fuels the legend. Auction houses compete fiercely to obtain them. Private collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums, and online communities of enthusiasts share tips and photographs to help each other identify potential finds. But no matter how many people know about it, the rarity ensures that the next discovery is always a surprise. And that means that today, at this very moment, the next $1 million penny could be found, and it might be yours. Imagine the thrill of realizing that you were the one who discovered it. The initial disbelief as you check the details, the adrenaline as you confirm the error, the awe as you understand the magnitude of what you are holding. Suddenly, a simple coin transforms into a life-altering treasure. Bills, mortgages, dreams, and opportunities that seemed far away are suddenly within reach. You hold not just a coin, but a symbol of luck, knowledge, and timing, all in the palm of your hand. It is also a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary opportunities hide in the most ordinary places. We walk past them every day without noticing, dismissing the mundane as unimportant. Yet fortune often favors the patient and the observant, those willing to slow down, examine closely, and recognize what others overlook. The 1989 penny is a perfect example of that principle. It has been quietly passing from hand to hand for decades, invisible to the untrained eye, waiting for someone with the vision to see its true value. And the beauty of this hunt is that it can happen anywhere. Your old coin jar, your car's cup holder, a forgotten desk drawer, even the coins collected from a recent shopping trip. Each coin holds the possibility of being extraordinary, but only if you take the time to look closely. There is no rush, no secret map, no hidden instructions other than careful observation and knowledge of what to look for. The reward is real, tangible, and life-changing, but only for those who notice the difference, those who can spot the subtle doubling, the off-center strike, or the unique metallic variation. So, take a moment today. Open that jar of coins. Inspect the pennies in your pocket. Study them under good lighting. One of them could be more than just change. One of them could be $1 million discovery waiting to be recognized. And when you find it, remember that you are not just holding a coin. You are holding history, mystery, and the possibility of unimaginable wealth, all in one small, copper disc. The 1989 Lincoln penny has proven time and again that even the smallest, most ordinary objects can hide extraordinary potential. The next discovery could be today. It could be you. Your life could change in an instant, all because you took the time to look closely and see what others overlooked. That penny in your hand is more than copper. It is opportunity. It is a legend. And it is waiting for the moment when it will reveal its secret to the right person. The person who is paying attention, the person who is observant, the person who understands that true fortune often hides in plain sight. So stop what you are doing and check your pockets, your drawers, your coin jars. One glance could be the difference between ordinary change and a life-changing discovery. The 1989 Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It is $1 million opportunity, quietly waiting for someone to recognize